So much has happened since we last spoke on air, at least. What do you see as being different now than the last time we spoke regularly on TV?
You know, I think the main thing is there are two main things. One is a product thing, which you've talked about, I'm sure, many times, which you could see happening when I wrote that last column of mine, which was the kind of plateauing of the smartphone and the tech industry's need to come up with something as big, at least they hope something that would be as big. And then the second thing is this sort of techlash, this kind of reaction, political and social reaction to the power of the tech companies, which was also visible then, but I think has become much bigger now and has finally penetrated Washington in a serious way. And I think both of those things have huge consequences.
Hey, Walt, great to see you. So it strikes me that maybe we need a new type of tech voice, and I wonder what you think about that. It seems to me when you first started your column, the tech landscape was dominated by devices with interfaces, and you tried to hold companies accountable for how they interacted with consumers, what consumers could expect from that interface and that software. Now it's about platforms, it's about data. We don't have as many authoritative voices, which might be good because there are a lot more voices, but I wonder if there's a way to hold these platform companies more accountable for how they treat us.
Yeah, it's great to see you too, John. I think, well, first of all, I think tech journalism has been stepping up and needs to step up more. There was certainly less tech journalism around when I started in 1991, but there's great journalists out there. I think we just everybody needs to focus more on this stuff. But I also think it's time for regulation. It's time for a statute. We have no federal statute in the United States of America where the internet was invented, where the web was commercialized. We have no federal law that is really a true internet law for privacy, for security, for generally setting up guardrails on how consumers can be treated. And I think we're just way overdue. And there are finally some members of Congress working on this in a serious way.
Walt, Morgan Brennan here. A lot has changed since you were on the show, including me joining it, so it's good to catch up with you. I'm curious, you've had a lot to say about Facebook, and if I'm correct, you've actually deleted your Facebook account, yet you're still on Twitter. Why?
Yep. That's true. I left Facebook at the end of last year because, and I had been on there for 12 years, because I just could not square my own personal ethics and values with the policies and actions of that company. And so I left Facebook, and I left Instagram, and I left Facebook Messenger. I wasn't on WhatsApp, so I didn't have to leave that, but I just decided to disassociate myself from the company. And it's just one of the wonderful things you can do in a capitalist system is you can make a decision on which businesses you want to patronize. And I made that decision with regard to Facebook.
And I guess just because we have been having such a bigger, broader conversation and debate about social media and about these issues around privacy, why Twitter would still be a company you'd want to patronize? What are they getting right?
Look, Twitter is screwed up in its own ways. It has a lot of work to do, but my judgment was that Facebook has just never stopped having these endless cycles of, violating privacy or not owning up to what's going on, or deflecting and lying on and on for many years, and then apologizing, and then the cycle starts again. And when you get to something like helping to distort, wittingly or unwittingly, helping to distort a national election, not only here but in other countries, and then not really doing enough about it, in my opinion, I think that I just thought I couldn't stay there anymore. But more importantly than whether I'm on there is what is the government going to do about it? And I think the government is going to get serious about it.
Yeah. Although, I mean, you talk about the government and politicians. I mean, people are making efforts to improve just news literacy in this country, Walt,
Right.
and I know you're on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually spending a lot of time in my retirement focusing heavily on teaching kids in high school and middle school how to tell fake news from real news, how to understand what journalists do and what editors do. And we have there's an organization called the News Literacy Project where I sit on the board. We have a digital curriculum. It's being used in all 50 states. And the whole idea is to get these kids to have critical thinking about the things that are being served up to them.